Right now, you're feeling it. When you open your fridge and see fewer groceries than you used to. When you pull up to the gas station and watch the numbers climb faster than your paycheck. When your rent, utilities, prescriptions, and insurance hit your bank account all at once and your balance suddenly looks scary. This isn't just inflation on a screen. This is your life, your family, your stability, and your peace of mind. Millions of Americans depending on Social Security, SSI, and SSDI wake up every month asking the same question. Is my check going to stretch far enough to survive? You didn't plan to struggle. You worked your whole life. You paid into the system. You followed the rules. And yet here you are, counting dollars, cutting corners, skipping little joys, and sometimes even skipping essentials. That emotional pressure sits heavy on your chest, and it doesn't go away when the news turns off. It follows you into the grocery store aisle, the pharmacy line, and your mailbox when that check arrives. But today, something big is shifting. There's movement inside the Social Security system that could directly impact your wallet. We're talking about potential increases, major updates involving SSA, SSI, and SSDI, and signals that your monthly check could finally reflect the reality of today's economy. This isn't hype. This isn't rumor. This is real momentum that could affect how much money lands in your account. And the reason this matters so much is simple. Even a small increase can mean groceries instead of stress, medication instead of worry, and dignity instead of desperation. But here's the suspenseful part. Not everyone understands how these changes work, who qualifies, when they happen, and what you need to watch for. Some people may benefit more than others. Some might miss opportunities if they're not informed. That's why you need to stay locked in today. Because what's coming could change how you budget, how you plan, and how secure you feel moving forward. Your wallet is on the line. Your future stability is on the line. And the decisions being made right now could shape your financial safety net for years ahead. Why Social Security is under pressure. Right now, the reason Social Security is back in the spotlight isn't random. The entire system is under massive pressure from rising living costs, shifting workforce patterns, and a growing number of Americans relying on benefits. Every year, more retirees, disabled workers, and low-income individuals enter the system, while fewer workers contribute at the same pace. That creates financial strain, political attention, and non-stop debate. But what really pushed urgency this time is how dramatically everyday expenses have jumped. Housing costs are higher, food prices remain elevated, medical bills continue to grow, transportation costs fluctuate constantly, and for you, that means every dollar matters more than ever. When your Social Security check doesn't rise fast enough to match real-world prices, you feel squeezed. That's why lawmakers, economists, and Social Security administrators are closely examining benefit adjustments and payment structures. The goal is to prevent vulnerable Americans from falling behind while maintaining long-term sustainability. But this creates tension. If benefits rise too slowly, families suffer. If they rise too aggressively without proper planning, the system risks instability. This balancing act makes every update critical. It's also why headlines are suddenly flashing about possible increases, recalculations, and payment reviews across SSA, SSI, and SSDI programs. Behind the scenes, analysts track inflation data, wage growth, healthcare costs, and economic forecasts to determine how much adjustment is justified. And while those discussions sound technical, the outcome lands directly in your bank account. That's the part you care about. You don't care about spreadsheets. You care about groceries, rent, gas, and medical care. The suspense builds because these decisions don't happen overnight. Signals emerge first, policy discussions leak out, proposals circulate, and then suddenly, official updates arrive. That's where we are right now. Momentum is building toward adjustments that could bring relief. But relief doesn't always arrive equally or predictably. Some beneficiaries see increases sooner, others must wait. Some categories receive slightly higher boosts based on eligibility rules. That's why staying informed protects your wallet. If you understand what's happening before the checks change, you can plan smarter, budget better, and avoid surprises. Knowledge gives you leverage in a system that often feels confusing and overwhelming. What checks about to increase really means for you. When you hear the phrase checks about to increase, it's easy to imagine a massive payday or instant financial freedom. But the reality is more nuanced and still powerful. Increases typically come from cost of living adjustments, benefit recalculations, or policy-driven enhancements aimed at protecting purchasing power. For you, this could mean your monthly payment rises modestly but consistently, helping offset higher living costs. Even a small percentage increase can add up over 12 months. That extra money might cover prescriptions, utilities, groceries, or emergency savings. It might mean less reliance on credit cards or family support. Emotionally, it can restore a sense of control over your finances. But here's the suspense. Not everyone receives the same increase, and timing matters. SSI recipients may experience adjustments differently than SSDI or retirement beneficiaries. Income thresholds, eligibility rules, and benefit formulas all play a role. Some households could see noticeable changes, while others experience smaller shifts. That's why misinformation spreads quickly. People hear numbers without context and assume universal outcomes. You deserve clarity. An increase doesn't magically erase financial challenges, but it can stabilize your budget and reduce stress. It can give you breathing room. It can help you plan rather than react. And planning is power. The key is understanding how your specific benefit category works and what signals indicate upcoming changes. When official announcements roll out, they often include effective dates, revised payment tables, and eligibility clarifications. If you're prepared, you won't be caught off guard. You'll know what to expect in your wallet and how to adjust your spending accordingly. That sense of preparedness is what separates confidence from anxiety. This moment is about positioning yourself wisely instead of waiting blindly. How SSA, SSI, and SSDI updates impact different households. Every household relying on Social Security interacts with the system differently. Retirees depend on monthly payments to cover fixed expenses. Disabled individuals rely on SSDI for stability when work is limited. Low-income households depend on SSI to meet basic needs. Each group faces unique pressures, yet all share the same vulnerability to rising costs. When updates occur, the ripple effects vary. For some families, an increase could mean the ability to refill prescriptions without fear. For others, it might allow catching up on overdue bills. For caregivers, it may ease the burden of supporting loved ones. But understanding how these updates impact you requires attention. Some changes adjust base benefit amounts, others modify eligibility thresholds or income exclusions. Occasionally, administrative improvements speed up processing or reduce errors. These operational changes don't always make headlines, but they directly affect your experience. The suspense comes from uncertainty. When will changes apply? How much will increase? And who qualifies? That's why staying informed empowers you to advocate for yourself. If you notice discrepancies or delays, you can act quickly. Knowledge prevents missed opportunities. It also protects against scams and misinformation that prey on vulnerable populations during times of change. When benefits are in the news, scammers often emerge pretending to offer early access or guaranteed increases. Staying informed keeps you safe. Your financial security depends not only on what the government decides, but also on how you respond. Awareness is your shield. Why timing matters more than most people realize. Timing is everything when it comes to Social Security updates. Changes don't always activate immediately. Some adjustments apply at the start of a new fiscal period. Others roll out gradually across payment cycles. That means two people receiving similar benefits might notice changes at different times. This creates confusion and emotional whiplash. You might hear a friend say their check increased while yours hasn't yet. That doesn't mean you were skipped. It means processing schedules vary. Understanding this reduces panic and frustration. Planning around expected timelines helps you avoid unnecessary stress. If you anticipate an increase in a future month, you can adjust your budgeting strategy accordingly. Maybe you delay a major purchase. Maybe you allocate funds differently. Timing knowledge protects your wallet from impulsive decisions based on incomplete information. The suspense builds because official confirmations often arrive shortly before implementation, leaving little time to prepare. That's why following reliable updates keeps you ahead of the curve. The more prepared you are, the more confident you feel navigating your finances. The emotional impact of financial stability. Money isn't just numbers, it's emotional security. When your check increases, even slightly, it changes how you sleep at night, how you shop, how you plan, and how you feel about tomorrow. Financial stability reduces anxiety. It restores dignity. It allows you to participate in life instead of merely surviving it. For families relying on benefits, stability means fewer difficult choices between essentials. It means fewer emergency calls to relatives. It means feeling respected rather than forgotten. These emotional shifts ripple through households and communities. When people feel secure, they make healthier decisions, support local businesses, and invest in their well-being. That's why benefit updates matter beyond individual wallets. They shape the emotional health of millions of Americans. Your sense of hope, control, and independence is directly tied to financial predictability. What you should do right now to stay ahead. Preparation is power. Start by reviewing your current benefit statements and understanding your payment schedule. Track your monthly expenses so you know exactly where your money goes. This gives you clarity when changes occur. Stay alert for official notices and avoid relying solely on social media rumors. Protect your personal information and never share sensitive details with unsolicited contacts. Knowledge and caution keep you secure. If you notice discrepancies, contact official channels promptly. Staying proactive ensures you maximize your benefits and minimize stress. This moment is about empowerment, taking control of your financial awareness. Why these updates signal a bigger shift? These changes reflect a broader recognition that Americans need stronger financial support systems. Policymakers are responding to economic realities and public pressure. This signals a long-term conversation about how the safety net evolves. While immediate increases matter, the bigger story is sustainability and fairness. Your participation as an informed citizen matters. Staying engaged ensures your voice remains part of the conversation. The suspense. What comes next? The next few months will reveal how these updates fully unfold. Implementation details, payment schedules, and eligibility clarifications will continue emerging. Staying tuned ensures you don't miss opportunities or misunderstand changes. This suspense keeps you alert and prepared. Your financial future depends on staying informed, adaptable, and proactive. This moment is bigger than a number on a check. It's about your dignity, your security, and your future. Every update represents a chance for relief, stability, and hope. By staying informed, you protect your wallet and empower your family. Don't let uncertainty control your life. Let knowledge guide you forward. Stay connected, stay alert, and stay ready. Your financial future deserves attention, action, and awareness. Subscribe, stay updated, and keep protecting what matters most: your peace of mind and your future stability.